One, two, three, let's go! Good morning, afternoon, or evening, whenever or wherever you are. Welcome to my podcast. This podcast is the second episode of mine. And today, I have a special guest in my call right now. He is Lei. Hey, Lei.
Hey,
It's nice having you, Lei. How you doing?
I'm good. Well, it's good to be here. Well, it's
Wow.
good to be talking to you.
Welcome to my podcast. Have you ever
Thank you
done
for having me.
have you ever done any podcast before?
Uh, Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Okay, don't be stressed. It's gonna be fine. You're gonna
I'm
be
a little
fine.
bit stressed right now.
Why? Relax, just
Yeah.
relax, okay?
Okay.
Like we're
Oh,
talking.
it's a good thing. It's a good thing you can't see me because it's like I'm like whoo right now.
Okay, you want to open the camera? No?
No, I don't. Absolutely not.
Okay. Okay, shall we start?
Sure.
All right. So, our topic today is how to be a citizen in a foreign country.
How to be?
A citizen in a foreign country.
Well, in some countries, to be a citizen, you're gonna have to get married to a citizen there.
Oh,
It
you have to.
depends where you are, though.
Oh, I see. Well, okay, let's get to know Lei first. Lei,
Okay.
he used to teach me when I was in high school.
Hmm.
Yeah. When I'm not sure how to calculate. I forgot. Gabby told me about counting grade, like grade 12 or grade. Maybe I was grade 12, right?
Um, I had you in 11th and 12th grade.
11 M4,
Yes. Oh, no, 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 no. I had you in M5 and M6. So
M5 and
that's
6.
11 and 12th grade, yes.
Okay, but
But I would have to substitute for your class all the time when you were in 10th grade.
right. Yeah, and we first met when I was grade 11, right? Can you
No,
remember?
when you were in,
Can you
no,
remember?
not, no, we first met before that.
Before that? Oh,
But, yes. We first met when you were in 10th grade, but I officially taught you in 11th grade.
oh, right. Yeah. I can remember now. Okay.
Hmm.
So, are you are you half American or fully Thai?
Okay, so I am technically fully Thai, but
Okay.
I have two nationalities.
Two nationalities. Okay, can you explain?
Yes. Um, my ethnicity, I am Asian, I am Thai, but nationalities, I was born in Hilo, Hawaii, sorry.
Okay,
And
Hawaii.
so yes, so Hawaii is in the USA. We are the 50th state of America.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But
Nice.
because I am Thai, I am able to have a Thai citizenship as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, so now you're holding Thai citizenship and American citizenship, right?
Yes.
Wow, that sounds cool. So you can move to Thai and you can move to USA freely. Are you?
Yes. Yes. And I do
Wow.
not have to deal with visas, which is really great.
Wow.
But I used to though because I wasn't an official Thai citizen, and I think um, until I was 18, 19 or 20 out there. That's when I officially got, registered as a Thai citizen. But all the time before that, I did have to deal with visas and I did have to deal with all that bullshit. So, oh, can I
Okay.
swear on this?
Yes, you can.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No worries.
Uh, Anybody that knows me knows I have a potty mouth.
Uh,
So,
Party mouth.
yeah, potty mouth.
No
I can't
worries, no
help
worries.
it.
Yeah, no kid's gonna watch this.
You never know.
Just don't let your son watch this, okay?
I know. Crap. Oh, I did it again. Oh shit. Oh, I did it again.
Oh no.
Okay. Okay, it's okay. I'm sorry. All right, moving on.
Okay. Is it a funny show or something?
Oh, with me, it's always a good time. Everybody knows that.
Right. Great. Okay. So, talk about America. How's the quarantine there?
Um, it's it's.
What?
I have to be very careful, because when it comes to politics and stuff like that, you have to just be careful what you say. Um,
Okay, okay.
so basically, because in America we have 50 states, but these 50 states they're also governed by their own party as well. So they have their own governors, but within those states you have cities as well. So all these cities have what they call a mayor. So
Okay.
yes, so this makes it even more difficult because it's like there's a chain of command almost, but also because you have all these different rules and regulations, all the citizens here or citizens in whichever state or city, it gets a little bit confusing,
Mm.
because everybody has their own set of rules. For example, we have our mayor here. I'm not gonna say any names.
Name?
We have our mayor here. Wait, can I say names? Should I be allowed to say names?
No, you're not allowed to
Um,
say name. Please not. Please
yeah,
don't
okay,
say
yeah,
name.
yeah, yeah.
I
It's
don't
not
want to get
okay.
banned or
So
demonetized. No.
yeah, I know that'd be bad, and then they're gonna find me. No, no, knock on wood, knock on wood. So basically, we have our mayor here, and he established these sets of rules, but actually the mayor has to follow the chain of command, which is higher, and the governor is actually has more power than he does. But the governor also has his set of rules that he hopes the other islands will abide by, you know.
Mhm.
And but other than that, if there's a set of rules or laws that come from, the main house. Why did I say main house? Like the main government, the U.S. government,
Okay,
then we
okay.
would have to abide by those rules. So it's a little bit confusing.
Yeah.
Like, yes,
Really,
a
yes.
lot of people in Hawaii are very confused. Well, my island, a lot of people are confused, but there's some other islands that are, they got it down. Like for example, Kauai, they're doing very well with this. Their mayor is, he's on it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good, right?
Yeah, yeah. So this is why it's a bit confusing when you have so much, um, so many different chains of command. Like, who do we follow? What do we do? And it's
Hmm.
just very confusing. Yeah.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
other than that, it's okay. There is a lockdown.
Hmm.
For example, you're not allowed to travel in and out of the state of Hawaii right now because they have a shutdown, so there are no flights coming in and out. There shouldn't
Okay.
be anyway, you know.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. But
That's all.
um oh well, I mean like okay, so basically everything that isn't an essential working environment, it has to shut down. So, by their terms, essential workers are, for example, doctors, nurses, anybody in the medical field, or
Mhm.
grocery stores, um, food establishments. Those are considered essential workers. So we don't have to shut down, but if you are not quote unquote an essential worker, then you have to close your shop or whatever for now. But also, a lot of places have changed their hours. So, for
Mhm.
example, I run a Thai restaurant, and normally we're open 7 days a week. Yes, seven
Mm.
days a week. I work 7 days a week, okay? And
24/7?
yeah,
No,
almost.
almost
Might as well be.
24/7.
Yes, I would tell you there are 365 days out of the year, and we only shut down, I think, 4 days out of the year.
Wow.
Okay, yeah, it's really shitty and deep breaths,
Deep.
But yeah. So, but because of what's going on, we've had to cut our hours from 12 p.m. noontime till 8.
Mm-hmm.
and we're closed on Sundays, and we're only allowed to do so. Every food establishment, you're only allowed to do takeout. So if you don't know what takeout means like to
Like
goes
to
or
go,
carry
yeah,
out.
take
Yeah,
home, order food and then
take
take home. Not
home.
allowed to eat inside
Yeah,
the restaurant. Okay.
yeah. So it's taken quite a hit on a lot of food establishments because a lot of food establishments are sit down places. You know,
Mm.
so I've seen a lot of restaurants that were forced to close because it's just the income. It doesn't break even to
Okay.
cover the cost of a lot of things. Yeah,
I see.
we um we actually have this one restaurant here in Hilo. Hilo's my city. Uh, there's a restaurant here. It's called Ken's House of Pancakes, and this place is 24/7. They
Wow.
literally never close. I think they close like once out of the year just to clean,
Oh.
but other than that, they never close. And I called them the other day, a couple weeks ago, because I wanted to order fried chicken because they make really good fried chicken.
Oh.
But
Okay.
yeah, but it was really unfortunate. But the woman who worked there told me that they were forced to close down because of what was going on, and it's just, it's
Uh.
really heartbreaking, you know.
Yeah. Especially
So
with fried chicken.
yeah, yeah, I can't get my fried chicken now, but there's KFC, but man, that
Uh.
Ken's House of Pancakes KFC is pretty. Ken's House of Pancakes fried chicken is pretty good. Anyway,
Anyway, okay, okay. So how about your restaurant? Don't you have like chicken or something? No, only.
I mean, we do, but we don't have like
Uh,
KFC fried chicken and fried chicken like that. We do, but we do have a crispy fried chicken, which is our own house batter that we make ourselves.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
but
It's
anyway,
a
that's
bit.
pretty good.
Yeah, it's a bit advertising here. Okay, but it's okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah, you don't have to pay or anything. Just say it
Yeah.
here in my podcast.
Well, I mean, that'd be really great, but I highly doubt anybody who's listening to this will fly all the way to, invite you to try our
Just to
fried
try.
chicken. But I
Yeah.
mean, if you do, that's great. I'll give you a 10% discount.
Okay, cool. I'll fly there.
Yeah, good.
I'll
What
fly
do you
there.
mean? You're gonna have to work for me later.
For 10% discount or for free?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give it to you for free.
Wow, thank you, thank you.
You're
Okay, I'll
welcome.
go there one day. For
Yeah.
sure.
But speaking of the quarantine, though, I hate to say this, but there is a lot of racism going around, and there's a lot of hate going around, and
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
and I, I, I guess you could say I experienced a little bit for myself. I'm, s- I'm still trying to tell myself, no, that didn't actually happen because I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, and I try to think positive even in these hard times, but there was an incident that happened while I was at work, and so basically the way we have our setup, we have our dining room, and we have these huge. I guess you could say it's kind of like an open window slash door the way our front is set up, and that's how customers enter.
Mm-hmm.
But we blocked it off with a table so that way you can only come up to our deck, and that's how we do our transactions, and you pick up the food.
Okay.
Um, so I was taking care of a customer one time, and he comes by enough. He orders food like once a week, and
Mm-hmm.
normally we have like some small talk, or we kind of joke a little bit, just because he's been around.
Okay.
But the thing is, my son, because there's no school right now, and I have to bring him to work with me. And my son, he just chills out in the dining room in the back, and
Mm-hmm.
he's away. He's more than 6 feet away from people. He's in the back, But
Okay.
there was an incident where I was dealing with a customer, and I had my face mask on, and because you're required to wear face masks nowadays. It's
Yes.
crazy how this is. Yeah, it's crazy. So my son, he was in the back and whatever, and I was talking to this guy and finishing his transaction and giving his food,
Mm-hmm.
And my son, he ended up coughing, you know. But for me, it's whatever, you know. It's a cough. It doesn't mean that you have it,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay.
So my son is coughing a little bit, and then this guy he looks at me and he says, "Oh, is somebody coughing back there?" And I turned to him and I said, "Yes, it's my son is coughing. He has a cough. Like if he has something cold, it kind of it irritates his throat."
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And right, so then this guy starts saying things like, "And you don't have a face mask for him?" And he's kind of he's kind of talking to me like that, and I told him no, because he's had this cough, since he was young. It's just that when he has cold things, like a cold cup of water, iced cup of water, like it'll irritate his throat, or like it's just a regular cough. I don't know. Maybe he didn't have a cup of water. Maybe he just accidentally swallowed his spit, because you can
Mm-hmm.
still cough when you swallow your spit, right?
Right. Yeah.
And right, and then he said, "Oh, why doesn't he have his face mask?" And I said, "Because he's not coming in contact with people outside. He
Mm-hmm.
is safe on the inside with everybody, with his grandmother and whoever's working in the back, because whoever, if you're not working out in the front, then you shouldn't. If you're not coming in contact with people, then you shouldn't have to wear a mask because you're inside, right?"
Right.
So after that, I told this guy that, like, he doesn't need to because he's not in public, right? He's in the back. And
Yes.
then after that, after you give the person their food or whatever, you always ask them if they want any utensils, fork or chopsticks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I asked him, I said, "Okay, so here's your food. Would you like any utensils tonight, fork or chopsticks?" And he has the audacity to say to me, and he's trying to be sarcastic, and he says to me, "I'd like the COVID chopsticks." And I just looked at him and I said, "Excuse me, what did you say?" Because he's never said this before. And he said, "Oh, I'd like the COVID chopsticks." And I looked at him dead in the eye and I told him, "We don't have COVID chopsticks, but if you want it, you can go somewhere else and get it." And
Oh.
yeah, so he's never said that before, but it's only this one time he said that. So I think he got the picture that I was not fucking around. And that was very disrespectful to say, especially in these hard times, especially when a lot of Asian Americans or a lot of Asians everywhere are getting a lot of backlash for this, you know.
Mm.
So yeah, that happened, and I just looked at him and I said that, and I gave him his food, and I was like, if you don't like it, don't come back and get it, don't come back. And then we just
Okay.
kind of, yeah. And then actually, he came in sometime last week, and we barely exchanged words. I just gave him his food, and I said, "Thanks, have a good one." And he walked away.
Mm.
'Cause I was like, "Fuck you, I ain't fucking prick." Like, Jesus. Yeah. But yeah, that
Okay.
was my little experience.
Oh man, that's not good. That's not good.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Not so good. Well, hopefully
Yeah.
your restaurant is making more money. Hopefully.
Well, it's all right. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah. Well, talking about racism, in Thailand here right now these days, we see no racism here, but we see people they so I don't know how to describe that. Um, a bit greedy.
Right.
Yeah, they stocking food, stocking stuff,
Same here. Same
not
here.
not toilet papers, but especially the materials or the ingredients that is very very important for us to cook. You know,
Oh wow.
yeah. But the thing is, we have quarantine here as well, and
Mhm.
as a government as the government says, they said
Mhm.
that people are not allowed to group up, to bunch up,
Right. Right. Same
as
here.
a group or somewhere, especially in the market. But
Right.
in my town right now, there are two markets, and they open every afternoon.
Oh my
Yes,
goodness.
and there will always be like a bunch of people. I'm sorry, my microphone. Okay,
That's
okay. There will always be like a bunch of people going there and buying stuff, buying food.
oh no, and nobody has done anything about it.
No, nobody talks about it. No,
Oh, that's
not
not
at all.
okay.
That is really
Wow.
that's really bad. I
Yeah.
always see this, every day after work, and I was like,
Oh my
oh, why?
goodness.
I was like,
And
why?
people are still shopping like nothing. They just have face masks and that's it.
Yeah, just wear face mask, wash their hands, and shopping. That's all.
Okay, wait,
This.
sorry. It's gonna sound like I'm peeing, but I'm not peeing. Sorry. I'm just pouring some water into this. Okay, sorry. Okay, I'm done.
Okay, okay. Yeah, people just wear face masks and wash hands and then still interacts with people.
Oh my
I don't
Jesus.
understand why. It is so serious.
Well,
But,
yeah, some people just don't take it seriously.
yeah, yeah. But there's a good news that in my town there are no more infected. No more.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no more. But, I've heard from the news as well that people who used to infected, they can it can be back.
Right.
Yeah, they can back.
I read about that too, yeah.
Yeah, they can be infected again
Yes.
when their body lose or lack of protections or something in their
Right.
body. Yeah, they come back again.
I read about that too, yeah. And I
Yeah.
heard actually, I don't know if it's true or not. This is, like down the grapevine. But like if you were infected and you get it a second time, it could be worse the second time. But I
Yes.
don't know.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
okay, we've gone too far now from our topic.
Oh, have
We've
we?
gone too far.
Have we?
Yeah.
Oh, what was
Okay,
the
okay,
topic?
let's back to our point. Okay.
Okay.
So, you used to teach in Thailand, right?
Yes.
So, how was your teaching? How was it like when you teach in a high school in Thailand?
I'm gonna start off by saying it was really great and I
Okay.
loved it.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna soften the blow first.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
No, honestly, I love it. I loved it. I still love it. I think about my classrooms, my coworkers. I love my coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my kids, uh, I still I reminisce about it a lot, because it was a
Yeah.
big part of me. It was a huge part of me. It was a turning point in my life as well.
Yes, I can
But
tell.
yeah, but if
If.
this is your first time teaching in a foreign country and you have not read up on it, or if you haven't talked to somebody else who's experienced it, you should, because it is very different from what you're used to. I mean, I don't know, maybe not. It depends what country you're from, what country you're going to. But for example, because I'm from America, and then even though I am Thai, I would just go to vacation there. I didn't go there to teach there before, so that was my first time. This is how many years ago now? 5 years ago? 6 years ago?
Yeah,
About 5 years ago.
about
Uh,
five. Yes.
5, 6, yeah. And you think, oh, this is going to be great. It was great.
Mm.
And you have all these expectations and you have standards, and you think about your school life, and you think, fuck that, I'm gonna fucking get in with these kids, I'm gonna teach them all this kind of shit that I wish I was taught. I'm gonna teach them how I wish I was taught. You got all these cool ideas, and you're like, no, I'm gonna be the best fucking teacher because I can do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And because then you start thinking about back in school and you think, man, why can't our teacher do this? Man, why can't we do that? So that was my mindset. Like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'm gonna do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you also
But
have to remember times have changed, and you also have to remember there are two sides to every story. So yeah, while you're thinking that back in school when you're like fucking 10 years old, you were also probably a little fucking shit. So
ah,
you know, right? So I mean, after that, I look back on it. I mean, when I was teaching, I always thought, man, I must have been the biggest fucking asshole to my teachers. You know?
Yeah.
No, for real. Like, so yeah, I had this mindset, you know, and
Uh-huh.
then yeah, this is my first time teaching in a foreign country,
Okay,
but
but
you also have to learn about their rules. You also have to have an open mind to it. You know, in the beginning, it was hard for me because it was so different, like immensely different from what I grew up with. You know,
yes.
growing up in schools in America, I don't know in other states, but like in my school, I mean, I love my school. I love my school. You know, you have to be in there by 8 o'clock. You gotta be in the classroom by 8 o'clock. If you're not in the classroom by 8 o'clock, you have like the first bell. Sorry, you have
Mm,
the first bell, which is at 8, and then the second bell, which is 8:05. So if
mm,
you're in past 8:05, even like 2 minutes past 8:05, you're written out for like a tardy slip.
mm.
So that's like a point basically. And if you're tardy so many times, you get so many points taken off, you know. And if you're not in class, if you have a certain amount of absences, then you were not going to pass that class. I think in high school, when I got to high school, I think if you got more than 3 or 5 absences, I think your grade drops a whole grade or something like that.
Wow, the
Yeah.
whole grade.
Yeah, I mean not like your grade, like 11, 12th grade, but like
I
you
know, I
drop
know,
from
I
like
know.
an A to a B. Yeah. So yeah, so that was one thing, and then what else? Like the point system is different,
Mm,
and the periods are different. Like you know, it was just very different from my high school. So
mm.
you know, I don't know how all the schools are in Thailand, but like for my school, for example, that we were at,
Yep.
right, being late was like no biggie. It was like you walk in and you're just like, sorry, teacher, and they just kind of look at you and you look at them and you're like, uh-huh, okay, what the fuck am I gonna do with a sorry? You know, like I know you're gonna do it again, you know, but
Yeah.
yeah. So I know I wasn't the best when I was in high school, but you know, we also had a program. If you had so many absences or so many tardies, you would have to sacrifice like a Wednesday after school doing night school. So if you
Mm,
did night school, then you would be able to you know, fill in that space that you missed. And then the
mm.
teacher would take that off, you know. My God, you have no idea how many times I had to do night school.
Really?
Yeah, no, sir. I had to do night school on Wednesdays and I think Fridays. Yeah. Because then if you get to your senior year, 12th grade, and you have so a certain amount of like fuck ups or whatever, they're not going to let you walk the line. So walking the line means when you graduate. And the
Mm,
thing is, over here, walking the line is a big thing. It's a huge thing. You know,
wow.
my class alone of seniors, it was 300 kids. So that was pretty
300
big.
kids.
Yeah, 300 12th graders. You know, and then, but yeah, so it's the big thing. But also, you know, so it was very different, and I had to get used to it, and I
Mm,
had to get used to uh, you know, bending towards their rules, and then it was really frustrating in the beginning because it was so different. Like we're really big on being tardy and being punctual and
mm,
missing class, right? So whenever we would bring it up to our supervisors or our superiors, it was like, oh, it's okay, they came though, right? Or, oh, it's okay, they had this activity or that activity. And I was like, is it really though? Because I haven't fucking seen them for like 2 months. You know, what am I gonna do? You know, yeah. So that was one of the that was one of my challenges, and also just uh, doing things
mm-hmm.
as a team, because normally the teachers here, they're quite independent, you know, like their classes is their classes and nobody really meddles too much, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the teachers, they stay in their rooms.
Right.
So oh, that's another thing too, the periods. So the periods, you know, when you change classes,
Mm,
your teacher that's in that classroom, that's their room. Like they get to stay there. They don't have to go to the teacher's office, and they don't all have to sit down together. You know, that's their space. And
Right.
also, what else is different is the fact that when you change periods, you're with the same fucking group of kids for 3 years, you know, and that's not like how it is over here. You know, we have what, 5 periods, but in each period we see different faces. You know, we're lucky if we get like one friend that you have two classes together with them.
Uh,
You know, that's lucky. Yeah. But if not, then you're with a group different set of people every time, which I think is really great because that really
yeah.
improves your social skills. You know, and I wish high schools in Thailand would see that yeah, it's great that this class has a bond that's going to be together for 3 years and they're going to look out for each other. But it's basically like you have I don't want to say dolphins or animals, whatever, but it's just a comparison. I'm not saying that kids are animals,
Okay.
but
Okay.
like you see in these parks like sea life and all these aquariums or whatever. It's like you have this group just that's stuck together for how many
Mm,
years, and that's all they know, and then they're not going to be able to adapt to the wildlife, and then if you send them out there they're going to die. Oh, that's a bit morbid, sorry. I'm not saying the kids are going to die in the wild, but you know what I mean, right?
yeah, I
Because
know.
their
I
social
understand.
skills, you're not going to be used to different settings and different people, and you're only going to be used to this set of people, and then you're going to think, why aren't these people like the people I knew for 3 years? You know, it's like, well, that's why,
Yes.
because that's
Yes.
all you've been with, you know,
Yeah.
and it's just, yeah.
And
And it
there's
doesn't
gonna
really teach these kids to break out of their shell, to
mhm.
make new friends, to meet new people. And I feel like that's a reason why a lot of Thai kids are still shy, you
Yeah.
know.
Exactly. Yes. And
Yeah.
there's gonna be this thing happen, which is you know two different classes of students.
Yes.
They're gonna group up. They're gonna create their gang. They're gonna fight. They're gonna do something
Yes.
that is how to say that.
Well, I noticed that a lot of my kids would look down on a lot of other kids, and it would honestly break my heart, you know. And I mean, all my kids are great. You know, when I taught, I really tried to have it where I would kind of be one on one with all of them at a time, and I tried not to do too much standing up and talking by the whiteboard. I just, you know, we had a lesson, I explained it to them, and then I would try to work with them together. I didn't want them to feel like I'm just going to stand up there the whole fucking time and, talk my ass off, right?
Yeah.
Because I want them to have fun with it, you know?
Right.
And yeah, and then I want them to know that, no, I'm here for you. I want you to actually get this. I don't
Mhm.
want you to be afraid of me because not all foreigners are scary. It's completely
Mm.
okay to talk to me. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Like I did,
I
right?
think, yeah, I think that was my favorite part of teaching was getting to know kids one on one
Mhm.
and being able to pull them out of their shell and showing them that, hey, they can actually do this. That was my favorite part. And the fact that there were kids that would actually come to me on their own time, on their free time, because they wanted to talk to me in English. And
Mhm.
that's when I felt, holy fuck, I am a fucking teacher. But it was great. I met a lot of great kids. And
Yeah.
then, I didn't, I also don't want them to think, because there's this stigma as well. It's like, kids in Thailand feel like they have to be a doctor, they have to be a teacher, they have to be a nurse, they have to be this to be successful.
Yeah.
No,
No,
you
no, no, no.
don't. No, you don't. That's why I felt like I had kids that loved music, but then their parents were like, "No, you can't. That's not going to be anything." And I don't want to, I don't want to be the reason to break the family apart. But I would tell those kids like, "No, fuck that. This is what you're passionate about. I can see it in you. Use that. You know,
Mhm.
you can still be successful. You don't have to do this. I fucking failed school. I shouldn't have
Yeah.
said that. But I mean, there were courses I did fail, but I did make up for it. But school isn't for everybody. So I
Mhm.
just wanted to let them know that I'm not saying quit school. I'm just saying, do your best. Just get this shit out of the way, and then do what you know. Do what you know how to do, and focus on that. You know.
Wow. Okay, this is such a great inspiration, and I'm doing it right now.
Well, good, good, because
Yeah.
you know that's such bullshit. How many people have you seen that didn't fucking go to school, but they're still doing really great? You know what I mean?
Well, there's a lot, especially in Thailand.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's some millionaires here who didn't even graduate from high school or college.
I know, I know. Yeah, so I'm not saying don't go to school. I mean, go to school if you want to go to school.
Hmm.
You know, I mean, school is great, but if it's something that you know you need the education for, okay, you know, do that. But don't put others down just because they didn't.
Mm.
And it's just, ugh, I hate that, you know.
Yeah,
Why you
yeah.
gotta rain on someone's parade for it, you know? They love doing what they do, you know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That was about the experience of teaching and studying, right? From you and from me, from Thailand and
Yeah.
from America. Yeah, it's so different. And
Yeah.
okay, and okay, we off the point a little bit. Yeah,
Oh, again, I
a
thought we
little
were doing
bit.
pretty good.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, it's gonna be a part of the main point. Yeah.